What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Draft Yoda. I am Bill Wortman, the Draft Yoda, your favorite draft nerd's favorite draft nerd. Your Draft Yoda. We're data-driven and project prospect focused. Today, we're talking about my first player outside of the superstar tier, but don't let that fool you. Ohio State safety Earl Little Jr. is one of the safest prospects in this entire draft class. I've got him carrying a 9.49 grade on a 10-point scale, making him my number 6 overall prospect and my top safety on the board. NFL asks safeties to do everything now: cover deep, play in the box, match slot receivers, communicate coverages, stop the run, cover tight ends. Very few players can do all these things at the same high level as Earl Little Jr. First thing that jumps off the film is his versatility. Florida State used him everywhere. Single high safety, box defender, nickel corner, rover. I mean, there was not a defensive back position. I swear I saw him play the boundary at least a couple times. They used him anywhere they could. NFL defenses aren't looking for specialists anymore. They're looking for chess pieces, and Earl Little allows you to move him, allows a defensive coordinator to have a chess piece that can move anywhere. I don't know if you know what that is, but that's the queen, and that is a monster piece. Second thing I absolutely love about him is his football IQ. He diagnoses route combinations quickly. He understands leverage, and he trusts what he sees, processing the play, and is able to jump routes at a young age. I mean, he's been able to do this since he was a freshman. So it's second nature for him. But I buried the lead. He's also 6'2" and right around 200 pounds. You know what that allows? He can match up with tight ends. These big tight ends that are coming in, 6'5", 6'6", he can play with them. He has. He's shown it. He's also a willing tackler who actually enjoys contact, which is rare to find nowadays. And he has closing bursts. Part of his football IQ is he chooses the right angle. But even when he's choosing the right angle, he's having to factor in, he's got speed. He's got some real speed on him. So when he has to get downhill, he gets there quick. When he has to make a play on a player, he chooses the right angle and he gets there in a hurry. What I think makes him different is, while most of us will focus on his athleticism, elite top tier safeties, they don't react, they anticipate. When you watch Earl Little Jr., he consistently looks like he already knew what the play was and is there to make the play quicker than anybody else on the field. Part of that comes from him growing up around football with his father playing in the NFL. So he's been processing these plays much longer than most of us. His ankles are clean. His leverage is clean. He understands route concepts. He's not just playing football. He's solving problems before most of us see the problems there. Again, I've said it every time we've done these. Nobody's perfect, though. I'd like to see a little bit more consistency on his deep coverage transitions against sudden route runners. I'd also like to see another probably 5 to 10 pounds of functional strength, because he will get swallowed. If you've got an athletic tackle that can get to him, he will get swallowed up by that tackle. Now, obviously, There's not a lot of athletic tackles that can catch him, but they are becoming fewer. They are becoming more plentiful. So, one of the small things I'd like to see him improve on. Um, People have asked, for me to do NFL comparisons. I don't like doing them. I will make the exception with Earl Little because it's so obvious to me. It's Mika Fitzpatrick. Versatile, smart, physical, comfortable playing almost anywhere in the secondary. Um, and that is a comparison of his play style. That's not a projection. That is not me saying this is the career he's going to have. No, when I watch him, it's Minka Fitzpatrick all day. Um, One of the things that I love the most about him moving to Ohio State for this season, Ohio State has built one of the best defensive back development programs in college. And now that Earl Little Jr. is there, he gets to work with Coach Tony White and continue to refine his skill set. So he's just going to be even more polished coming out next season. That's honestly, that added a couple points in my book because uh, that that coaching is so elite. Um, it's kind of like the coach that I can't think of his name now, coach that left Ohio State that was the wide receiver coach. All the wide receivers that played for him got a little bump because he was their coach. The same is true for Tony White. Um, if you have a defender that can erase multiple problems at once on your entire defense becomes flexible. And that's what Earl Little Jr. brings. He can cover, he can tackle, he can blitz, he can play in the block, play in the box, play deep, and he can match up with the bigger wide receivers and tight ends, which makes him extremely, extremely rare for a prospect. And that's why he's currently a 9.49 out of 10. He's my number 6 overall player. My top safety, and he's probably the most complete defensive back in college football this season. I think he's everything that you're looking for in a modern NFL defensive back, especially as a safety. Versatility, football IQ, athleticism, physicality, leadership, reliability. Maybe he never becomes the flashiest player in the league, but I think he'll become one of those defenders that makes everybody around him better. And I think that's why he will, consistently push for all pro status as a safety. And that's why he's so high on my board. But that's just my board, Do you think Earl Little Jr. is the best safety in college football? Do I have him too high? Do I have him too low? I don't know if somebody loves him more than me, but I would love to hear it if you do. Drop your comments below. If you enjoyed this player evaluation, we build them around film and analytics. Please hit the like and subscribe as we keep putting in the work. We are going through. I'm going to try to get you so that you have every first round talent currently on my board before the season starts, so you know what's coming. You know who to watch going into the year. As I said, I'm Draft Yoda, Bill Workman. I'm your favorite draft nerd's favorite draft nerd. And I'll see you guys in the next one.